you're the biggest fan. Alright, I signed you out. I feel like Mondo's music makes me want to go to sleep. 90s Linkin Park, Creed Audio, Evanescence. See what this one sounds like. What is this taking me outside of YouTube? Just play a song. Classic rock. How's everyone doing today? Amazing. That's good. That is good. We got Zoom going. Oh, Zoom's looking at nothing. Oh, great. What did I do? View? Slideshow. There we go. We're working. We're working. I think that's good. It's like I haven't seen you guys in forever. Are you on vacation? Work vacation? I need a good work vacation. That sounds good to me. Alright, let's see where my little thing's at. It is. There we go. JD and HD back there. I like it. He's shaking his head, yes. There is on there on Zoom. A few other people on Zoom. We got a full room today. That's good to hear. I'm just stalling. Here so we can play the game. But really, it's just.
Tell us a joke.
Tell us a joke?
Yeah, tell us a joke.
What does a fish say when it runs into a wall? What does a fish say when it runs into a wall? Damn! Yeah, see? It's a good one. It's a good one. That joke's for gays.
I have an announcement.
Yeah, let's do it. We got an announcement.
So Women's Council of Realtor Antelope Valley is going to have their annual cornhole tournament and chili cook-off. So who here makes chili? Who makes the bomb chili? Who wants to win a little money?
JD makes bomb chili.
I see some hands. So please, we need participants. It's going to be February 24th from 12 to 4. It's going to be at Octane, which is on L, near 10th, the pool hall, and then they have the big cornhole area. So, and if you love cornhole, join the tournament also. It's only, I believe, $25 to join the tournament. And it's free to join the chili cook-off. Okay, so reach out to me. I'll give you the information. And it's going to be a really, really fun time. So you can win some cash. And then we'll get this flyer out to you. It just got approved. So, and then if you want to come and just like support and do the chili tasting, it's only $10 to get the chili tasting test, tasting bag or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, please join us. We'll send out that flyer for you guys.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Let's go back over to me here. Very cool. Amy, you know if Sean's coming? She's right behind you.
We'll start.
All right, we'll start.
Yeah.
We'll get going. You'll be Arshana?
Yeah, I'll be sure.
All right, welcome up Arshana. Hey.
Jim the Clicker? Hi guys, how are you? Okay, you ready? Do you remember the rules? Who'd like to stand up and share what the rule is?
Oh, there's Shannon.
Actual retail price. Wait, hold on. What's the rule? What's the rule?
Closest to the price without going over.
There you go.
Close to the price without going over.
There you go. Closest to the price without going over. These are close and last 2 weeks, and here's Shauna to take it over.
Robert. So, everybody loves Robert. He's our new escrow officer at OnCheck Escrow.
Hi guys, how you doing?
And we're so excited to have him. So we're going to start off with our Price is Right. Garrett will do it because... Yes?
For all those who speak in Spanish, buyers, clients, Robert, he speaks Spanish, fully Spanish.
Thank you.
Se habla español, guys.
Fluent.
All right, let's see. Our first house on the list. All right. Tehachapi. 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, built in 1989, 2,000 square foot house on a 14,000 square foot lot. All right.
Whoa!
This is why everybody close your eyes. All right, close your eyes.
That's at 413.
Okay.
Wow, we're at like the bottom of the.
I'm kidding. Here, I got you. I know how to do this. I know how to do it. Because I
That was really weird.
All right, let's start over. All right, Tehachapi. What are we doing?
I'm making sure it's working before people
Oh,
look.
gotcha.
It seems to be working now. I don't know what happened. It went all the way to the bottom.
All right, our Tehachapi.
hold on. I'm gonna be here.
Tons.
All right, we're gonna try again.
I know, look.
It didn't click.
One more time.
I'm not using it. I'll just use the mouse. All right, we're gonna just go from here.
Okay.
Want that to happen again. All right, let's try again.
Okay.
Is that a real sofa?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, it's
Really?
Yeah, it's staged.
All right, let's see the next one. Okay, so get your prices in. Let's see, we have Juan says $4.99. Right? I don't know them.
I'm scared it's gonna mess up.
I think it's like 2,200.
Yeah.
All right, let's get those guesses up, everybody. What are we thinking here today? $4.99, $4.80, $5.15, $4.95, $6.15 on Zoom, $4.15, $5.00,
They're like 1,000 of them.
$5.00,
All right.
$5.15,
Good morning.
$4.90. John, what's the price on this?
All right, actual retail price without going over is
$4.30.
I had 425.
anybody? You have what? Change that. Okay.
$4.15 on Zoom. What do you got?
What do you have?
35.
You're over.
We got $4.15 on Zoom. Anybody closer on Zoom?
I got 420.
$4.20?
All right. Can I take the next one?
Yeah. So the next one we got East Palmdale, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, built in 1993, 1,200 square feet on a 7,000 lot square foot.
Nice little starter home. 3 cars on.
Ooh, look at that. Ooh.
What was it? East
Sure that's not one of Otto's 3 models?
They didn't fix the screen before they took the picture. All right, here's a staging class 101. Let's go ahead and roll up that extra piece of carpet and move the screen before we take the picture. Look at the carpet cut up.
And the screen's falling off.
And the screen. Let's just take those off and then take the picture.
Yeah.
Hey, don't get such, it's brand new.
All right, starter home.
36703 East Palmdale. Probably what avenue? Yes. R8. 435, 465, 549, 399, 450.
Is there pool in the backyard?
449, 999.
I know, you guys.
Like 450 is gonna be $1.
You guys have two chances. You guys are so.
He's gonna go up there and talk about it in a second.
I don't know. I'm not licensed. All right. Are we ready?
505.
Gotta be persistent.
505.
All right. You ready?
Actual retail price
Yeah, you guys
is
type it in the chat, Dee.
475. 475.
Did she make this presentation?
JD's price came in a little late.
All right. Last one of the day.
JD's a big cheater.
Alright, so next one we got West Lancaster. West Lancaster, 4
Bring it up,
bedroom,
guys.
3 bath, built in 1986, 1,800 square footage, 7,000 lot square foot.
Is there a pool?
West Lancaster. Where is this? What neighborhood is this?
West Lancaster.
I know, but where's that desert right there that's open? Is that like 40th? You think 60th? No, Quartz Hill's out in front of it. That's 40th West. That's like 40th and J. Yeah.
That's my house.
That's JD. Yeah, JD's house is right to the right. Alright, what do we got? Let's got prices. 575, 49,
575.
560, 598, 448, got 630, 575, 550, 525, 525. JD's answer's in before. He's not cheating this time. Oh yeah, that's not RV access. All right. Last chance for glory for this week is 519. 519. Wow, that seems a little suspicious.
He said it before the listing was even up.
Are you guys splitting the winnings with Mondo in the back and he's giving me a little info? So real estate, huh?
Alright, well, thank you guys as always, and please remember to put on check on the contract, and let us know if you need anything.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys. Thank you, Entrec Escrow. Give them a round of applause. All right, we got a couple little announcements. First off, our KW committees. We want to make it easy for you guys to sign up. So we have this great little QR code. It's going to take you right to our website. In our website, there is a page called Our Committees and Our Culture. And it has everything to know about each committee and how to sign up and when to come to the office meeting. So if you guys want to get involved, if you want to meet more people, help get involved with a different committee that sounds fun for you, go ahead and scan the QR code, throw your name in there. We're going to give those names over to the committee members to make sure to invite you to the meeting. Or you could just show up to the meetings. So our KW Culture Committee meeting is the first Thursday of every month, 12, right after the office meeting. The Education Committee is the first Thursday every month at 10, right before the office meeting. And the committee meeting is the second Thursday for Financial. That's right before the office meeting at 1 o'clock. And then the Technology Committee is the second Thursday right after the office meeting. So either come in early or leave late. You can jump in and join. It's on our website. It's also right here on this little link. You're going to see this flyer around the office to make it easy for you. We just want to help you guys get involved. Yes, sir?
The tech committee's meeting today after this.
After this, so we can just stick around.
Absolutely.
Stick around and hang out. And we'll figure out how you figured out those answers to win the game
Technology.
through technology. He's like, it's so simple. I'm on Flex right now.
That's gonna be a little different on what we're doing just because of Ignite right now.
Yes. So where are you guys meeting? You know?
Conference room?
Conference room?
Well, I've already passed the first Thursday.
Okay, so next meeting, let us know. Okay, awesome. Okay, next, let's welcome up our very own Andrew, our King Baker, to talk about Valentine's Day bake sale.
I don't bake. No. So we're going to be doing a Valentine's Day event actually on Valentine's Day, which is next Wednesday, starting at 11 to 1. We're doing like a potluck. For those of you that have been to the chili cook-off, it's kind of similar to that as well. We're kind of combining it. What it is like a potluck, bring your favorite dessert. We're going to charge people to get in. We're asking for donations. Then once you give your donation, you're able to come in, taste whatever you like. That'll be going on for a couple hours. Just something fun. Spread the love on Valentine's Day. We'll also have a couple things that you can maybe take home to your significant other if you'd like.
Is it just sweets?
Yeah, we're doing this one on sweets. It could be homemade, it could be store-bought, whatever you want. Just bring sweets. That way we can have a good little sweet tooth and get our party on. So, see you guys out there.
There gonna be a kissing booth?
John, for those of you that are interested, John will be doing it.
I've heard some live. I've heard some live.
$10 goes straight to KWU Cares.
Per kid. Per kid.
John volunteered to do a kissing booth. John, your line's gonna be long, my friend.
You're gonna have a lot of explaining to do to Emily.
Yeah, me and Andrew are gonna be first in line, buddy.
Just Garrett. But there's a sign-in sheet at the front desk, so if you guys want to come, please RSVP. If you're bringing a dish, put on there as well what dish you'll be bringing. But yeah, just come ready to have a good time.
Awesome. Andrew, what's going on with the football square?
Real quick, question.
For those that are diabetics,
Don't come. I'm just
they have sugar-free. They're sugar-free.
Absolutely, we can even.
And don't feed Mike Jackson is what we're saying.
Gotcha. So we can even do, for those of you, if you guys want to bring sugar-free, we can even have a table dedicated to sugar-free items. So if that's something you guys are interested in, we can definitely go ahead and arrange for that.
Is this gonna be like the Red Food Field?
It's like the flavorless table. Like, yeah, no sugar.
The ones that don't taste good are.
What's going on with the football square?
Okay, another thing for KW Cares. Who's watching the Super Bowl this Sunday?
Everyone.
Is it?
You guys didn't seem excited, so I guess. Nobody's watching the Super Bowl? Thank you. So yeah, the Super Bowl is this Sunday. For those of you that have played, we're gonna have Super Bowl squares. It's a game. Basically, how it is you pick a square, and then at the end of each quarter, depending on the score, there's a grid here. Once we fill out the board, once we get it all full, we pick numbers at random that go up here, 0 through 9, right? So let's just say at the end of the first quarter, it's 7-7. Let's say, for example, 7 lands here and 7's here. We're gonna go over here and say, oh, Mario won. So whoever's in that square. So there'll be 4 winners. It's $10 per square, and 40. It's gonna be a 60-40. So 40 of it goes directly to KW Cares, and then 60 will be split amongst the 4 winners.
Very cool.
So it's gonna be 125 for who wins each quarter, and then the actual whoever gets the final score, they're getting 225.
Oh, very cool.
So we have about 40 left. So if you guys want some, please come see me at my desk, or you can come up. I have the sheet over here. We can sign you up.
Have it? Anybody have $10 they want to sign up? Pick a square.
Pick a square. Pick a square.
And you can sell him, so.
I take Zelle, cash, any form of payment, really.
Take Zelle? I was paying you yesterday.
I know. So let's make sure we get that filled up, and then wish you guys all the best of luck.
Thanks, Andrew.
I'll take 2 squares right now.
Okay, cool. You got it? Someone? You have the pen?
Oh, Andrew, what's this? Oh, Emily's talking about it?
Yeah.
Come on up, Emily.
Yeah. So
If we sell the money, or please sell to.
it's gonna be my phone number.
Okay, can you write it there, name and phone number,
Yeah. Do you have a marker? Or
and a bank account?
you probably. My social security number.
What's yours number?
661 341 407. So if you guys are gonna Zelle, that's the number. Valentine's Day, we're bringing in Ashley, who's one of our agents. She does baking. So for your significant other, we think it would be a great idea. She makes cakes, right? And then she sells a frosting kit. So you and your husband, your wife, partner, whoever it may be, kids, you guys can make a cake and you guys can frost it together. And a portion of every sale that she makes is also going to go to KW Cares.
Very cool. Thanks, Ashley.
Yeah. So if you guys want, you guys can place your order today, and we can get it to you by when on Valentine's Day, right?
Yeah, on Valentine's Day.
So we'll pick them up and have them all here.
Yeah, so just a few details. I believe the idea is for you guys to do them here as well.
If you guys would like, you can, or if you guys want to take it home and do it with your significant other at home, whatever you guys prefer.
So there are various flavors. It's a 4-inch bento, and then you can, as he said, with your significant other, decorate them yourselves. There are sugar-free options as well. So it's completely up to you, and a portion of the proceeds will go to KW Care. So thank you for the opportunity to partner with you. At the end of the meeting, we also brought some samples for you. So if you guys would like to try. And our full menu, if you have any questions for the day of for Valentine's Day, we also have a variety that you guys can pick from. Okay.
I have a question. I believe in highly leveraging all Valentine's Day activities. So do you have like a cool kid that just impresses my wife where I don't have to decorate?
Yeah, we do have.
Awesome. I'm in. She's not on here, is she? Okay. I totally got the gift months ago. There you go.
Anybody have any questions for her about the cakes, about the process? Simple
So
enough.
the way you do order is you will just direct message us on our Instagram, and then we'll just go from there.
Thanks. Thank you, Ashley. So who's Emily? You said someone to Emily?
I guess I said Emily.
Okay.
I
I know. Ashley stood up and then I was like,
it's a lot of pressure being up here.
I know.
You know, I get
Well,
nervous.
Ashley stood up. I'm like, well, that's not Emily. Who's Emily? But then Ashley came up and I saw Ashley was like, oh, we
She
just said
didn't say
Emily.
she pissed me. She said, I know your name.
I thought maybe there was someone else that was doing something too. Okay, never mind. Thank you, Ashley. Very cool. We don't have any other surprise. That's it, right? For the bake sale? That's it?
That should be it.
Okay, very cool. Oh, very fancy. Yummy. Okay, guys. So last week we were here. Who was here last week? So I saw some of you else here. You gotta raise your hands. We talked about last week. What we talked about? Who remembers? Remember, y'all left so inspired that you said this changed your life. What was it? Let me give you a guess. It might have been the first 6 personal perspective. What did we talk about? Self-mastery. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. All right, so last week we talked about self-mastery. So this week we're going to spend a little bit of time, and we're going to, this is obviously, I want you guys to participate. We're going to be working back and forth. Where'd my pen go? Andrew, you take my pen? That'll work. Get this thing to work. So I want you guys to participate because this is going to be a group discussion talking about our 80-20 principle and why this is so important for us and why it's so important today more than ever that we're focusing on our 80-20 principle. First off, we need to understand what is the 80-20 principle. It's a little blurry, but I'll read it for you. So in the 1940s, a quality control manager named Dr. Joseph Juran, guessing, documented a life-changing universal principle that he called the vital few and the trivial many. The idea was that a relative small percentage of your efforts led to the vast majority of your results. He attributed some of his findings to the statistical work of the Italian economist Vilfredo Pareto, who had observed that 80% of the wealth in his country was owned by 20% of the population. As fate would have it, that broadly embraced principle came to be known not as Juran's law, but the Pareto principle. These days, we simply call it the 80-20 principle. The idea that 20% of your actions lead to 80% of your results may be one of the most powerful principles you can apply to your life. It's about getting the most from your time and effort. It's about maximizing your results. It's about having focus. Focus is the key to great success, more than effort, experience, or even natural ability. Look at the highest achievers in any field and you'll discover that they have powerful focus. Just as importantly, you'll learn that the focus on the right things, the handful of truly important issues that make the biggest difference. All right, so there is a pattern to a predictable imbalance in life, and it's called the 80-20 principle. So I just read kind of the big what it is, but who here would like to kind of talk about the 80-20 principle, where they've seen it in their life and how it shows up? Andrew doesn't want to talk anymore. Who's here seen the 80-20 principle? We've talked about it a bunch of times and seen it show up in their own life. Everybody's like, don't call on me. Who here knows about the 80-20 principle, but has never really put it into practice? Thank you for your honesty. Who here was hoping for a free lunch? So, all right. Our 80-20 principle shows up not just in our life, but it shows up in everything, right? And across the board, where we spend our time, we get most of our activities. So let me ask you a question. If you spend all of your time focusing on your escrows that you currently have, what's going to happen over the next few months? No leads. No business. Right? So what do we have to focus some of our time on? We have to focus on lead generation, right? Because otherwise, if we focus all our time on lead generation, we get one deal, we focus 100% of our time on that deal. What happens when it closes? Yeah, we have nothing, right? So we talk about the importance of lead generation because that, at the end of the day, will give us more opportunity for income, correct? So we've all experienced that at least some way. But what else in life? Never noticed it in anything else?
I was discussing earlier tech class, something like that. So we were talking about the numbers for the amount of sales that were done last year, and out of 203,000 agents, only 257,000 of those. There was only 257,000 sales in California. And 203,000 agents in California. Half of those agents did one or less, or according to Marvin.
Yeah, 60% of the agents, one or less deals that year.
60, yeah. So that already tells you the other 40%, handled basically 80% or 90% of the work, meaning that 20% did 80% of that 250,000.
Yep.
51,000 sales were done by 150,000 agents.
Absolutely. That's exactly. We can look at Gavar and we can see all the sales that happened last year, all 3,300, whatever the total was in sales. The top 20% did 80% of those sales, right? And then there's what's everything's left. Same thing in the economy, right? Most of the economy in the United States is generated by the top 20%, right? And then 80% is by everybody else. It's a principle that you can see in everything in your life. And it's important to understand that the principle isn't just, oh, I need to lead gen because this. It's a principle meaning that it's everywhere and you can see it show up in all these different places, right? And not just in where you're spending your time, but that's the easiest to see what happens. So I guarantee you, if I checked your calendar and it was true, and you showed me what you did each day, we could show you what your income was going to be. I could show you what's going to happen. Because your calendar will tell you what you're doing, and if you're truly following the calendar, doing those activities, we should see the results. But most of us are doing other things. All right?
Can I share a little bit with you?
Yeah.
Garrett? Do you have a marker real quick that I can, let's go back to maybe, what do you think I'm gonna write here? Candy corn. Love it. Leads, listings, leverage, but I'm not. What I'm gonna write here is God, family, and then business. Right? This is gonna be God, family, and then business. This is one of our beliefs, isn't it? Yeah. A really important one. And so when you take the 80-20 principle and you go, you know what? are God, family, and then business, right? In that order, right? So, who wants to be better than they are now? For those of you who want to be better than you are now, you have to focus on being better. Well, where would you focus? What would be the number one thing if you had to focus on, say, God? What would you focus on? How would you be better with God?
To me, enhance my time, prayer time. So
That's your prayer time.
That's how I.
That's, okay, that's one way. What would be another way?
Reading
Scriptures.
Reading scriptures. Okay. What would be another way? Serving. Right? There are multiple ways on how you can be better if you wanted to be better with God. Let's talk about family. What if you wanted to be better with family? What would you do?
Spend more time with them.
Spend more time with them? Time is their love language? Probably your language too. Your own love language is probably time. What else? What else would you want to do with family if you wanted to be better with family?
Create valuable experiences, memories for life.
Create valuable experiences and memories and for life. What else?
set up time for my kids and my husband that we can just be them and me. Not my phone, not the TV, nothing else, just them and me. To listen, to play, to laugh together.
Right. Yeah, the time to spend. Yeah, with them. Building memories, building experiences.
Gifts.
You love language of gifts or something. So now if you wanted to do in your business, what are the things if you wanted to be better in your business, what would you do?
Spend more time with it.
Spend more time with it? Doing what?
Lead gen.
Lead generating? Okay, what else?
Intentionally build relationship with your job. Because sometimes I speak for myself, again, we're detached from our job, and so there is no relationship.
You know, one of the things that I think this should be added to is like down here, because this is an area where it's not in my strength zone. And it'll probably be like exercise or health or something like that, right? So, because that's not in my strength zone, but regardless, ultimately, when we look at things, we go equates to time. Would you agree? If I want more, a better relationship with God, if I'm going to serve, I'm going to spend more time in prayer, I'm going to read scripture, it equates to time. If I'm going to be better in my family and their love language is time and you're going to take them out and travel and build it, it's again back to time. Then when I want to do better in my business, what is it going to equate back to? Time. You have to first identify what in each one of those categories. What's the one thing that I can do that the other things will then just follow, right? So as a realtor, we know that's, what is that for your business? The
Lead
one
gen.
thing, lead gen, right? And then, so the one thing with family would be, you tell me, what do you think it is? The one thing with family.
Spending more discipline.
Spending more time with them? So sometimes you can spend time on something that you don't, I can be in the same room with you, but never bonding, experiences, whatever the one thing is. And the same thing when you talk about God and you want that relationship to be better, right? Okay. So if we agree that all three things equate to time, and we're telling you that 20% of your time will create 80% of the result. So if you spend, we're going to say 20, of this 20% in life, right? Now we're gonna say, well, how much in life are you going to spend on the God piece? 100 hours, 1,000, 10,000 hours. Now, when you look at that 20% of that time, you go, what's the one thing I can do better, and how can I do it better for your business? You know that it's lead gen. And if you know, if it's a rule, that's why he calls it a principle. It's principle of, you're gonna spend 20% of your time. I wanna get better with God, so I'm gonna go ahead and pray more and read scripture. Okay, and that to me is going to take me closer to God, right? I'm gonna serve, so that's gonna bring me closer to God. Whatever the one thing is for you, right? That's gonna get you closer to God. You're gonna start doing that, and then guess what happens? What's the 80% of the result? What is it? A relationship with God. Oh, okay. So if I go to family and I want to build it, I'm going to do what one thing is going to help me my relationship with my family? Bonding. So now you identify what that means, bonding, right? Specifically for your family, right? So now you go, okay, I'm going to start doing that, and then what's going to happen?
Esther gonna follow my advice.
You're gonna get 80% of the result on that, right? You're gonna get 80% of the result on that. So the thing is, we give you a map. We give you a map. We go, hey, listen, would you like to make 128,000, Garrett? What is that?
What?
The 128,000?
How much is 120,000?
No.
How much times?
Not 120.
Your database?
Right. How much?
12 business.
Is it 201?
12 transactions.
The 201? It's about 12 transactions. Is that what you're asking? I don't know what you're asking.
Okay. I was asking about the money made on a 201 club.
It's about 120,000.
120,000, thank you. So at 120,000, we're telling you the map is a 201 club. Right? That means lead generating within your database with 201 contacts. Here's the map to go to New Orleans. And you go, I don't need a map. Amy, I know how to get to New Orleans. I go, go. You're gonna get there. I'm gonna say you're gonna get there. Best case scenario, he's gonna get there. Right, Andrew? But it's gonna take you longer. Right?
Just really use the phone.
They're giving you the map. Just use it. Just use it. So the 80-20 principle is knowing your one thing and using that map. Right?
And that was awesome. Can I just share something real quick? Sure. So basically what I got, because this was awesome what you just did. Or trying to show here with this little thing here, but basically what I've done is I've been sucking here, here, and here. Because without this one, this fails. Without this one, this fails. Ultimately, if you take money away from everything, this wouldn't matter. But when this is right, this also helps everything up here. And so somehow when we're off in one of these, it's because we haven't figured out how to fix either one of these where we're lacking. Because if you got this under control, then this will be better. But even if this is all jacked up, you'll notice that this will be jacked up too. Because then you can't really focus all on this because you got all these other problems way up here buying up your time. Yes. And you're losing focus. So I just thought it was amazing. That was,
Thank you.
Excuse my language.
We'll get you corrected on the gods. We gotta get corrected on the GOD here for the bad language. Uh-oh. All right, we're gonna talk real quick about the big rocks, and we're gonna add text. Go to that. All right, so you guys probably seen this before, but this goes in line with what Amy's saying about aligning our time and make something make sense. So let's imagine real quick. Oh, I gotta do this for the people on Zoom too. Here, so let's put you down here, Joe. That ain't gonna work. Yeah, that works. Okay. So what do you guys do throughout your day as a realtor? What's some things that happen? Lead generate. So let's put these in
sizes of importance for us, right? We'll do them in shapes of rocks, all right? So lead generations, that's a pretty big rock, right? All right, what else do we do? Follow up, that's pretty good size. What you say, scripts? It's a good size rock. What else? Appointment? That's a good size rock right there. What else? Market. Study. Escrows. What else? Answering emails. Emails. Showing, setting up showing times. Answering phone calls. Answering salesmen that call your number 14 times. Right? Setting up open houses. What else? Marketing material. Awesome. What was that? Writing offers. That's good. All right. Home inspections. Collaborating with your teams. Love it. Some stuff in there. Okay, sounds good. So here, these circles represent the things that we do in real estate. And we talked about the big rocks come first. This helps us understand the 80-20 principle. Right? So our time in a day is this great drawing of a jar. Beautiful jar right there. Okay? So let's see how we fill up our day and how we fill up our time. So in our day, we wake up, and what do a lot of us do when we first wake up? Drink coffee, right? Check your phone, right? These little things, drinking coffee, checking our phone, checking our email, we start to fill up our time, right? Of these little things that we do every day, correct? How many first thing we wake up, we look at our phone? How many guys first thing when you get to the office, you look at Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, X, whatever? Be honest. Right? You're like, I'm lead generating. Oh my gosh, I can't believe Sally wore that. Right? You start filling up those things. Oh, but that escrow fire that's going on. Oh, I gotta call that agent, right? Because that's we gotta fire. The escrow's not gonna close because the appraisal didn't come in, and the appraiser is an idiot because he used those comps and my comps are way better. So I gotta handle that, right? So that's a good size rock, right? And then what else happens? The buyer has to go see these houses, right? They can only see it today at 9 or 10, correct? So we do that, right? And then what else happens? Oh, this next email happens, and this happens, right? And then, oh, I got to lead generate. Oh, but don't fit. Right? It doesn't fit. It's too big, correct? Because we allowed the little rocks in our life to fill up our time that we have. Right? So what if, the same concept where we're at, but we focus on our 80-20 principle, right? And the first thing we do is what? We put that big old rock right in the middle, right? And then we deal with those showings, and then we deal with those follow-ups, and then we deal with the escrow fire. Right? Now, let's go do all that small stuff. Oh, Instagram. What happens when we put it in here? Where is it to go? It's going to siphon right through and settle. Make sense? So when you fill up your day with the most important thing in the beginning, someone asked me yesterday at Ignite or the day before at something, when do you lead generate? And I said, I do it at 9 o'clock because if I don't do it, it doesn't happen. This is why. Because the distractions in life happen. Things happen that we do. If we don't put our 20% first, when we're most in the right mindset to get accomplished what we need to get accomplished, we will not be successful in what we're trying to do every day. The daily distractions will consistently overwhelm us. And what will happen is we quickly find, oh, I didn't lead generate this week because I had so much going on. And then what do we get on when we do that? We get on the realtor roller coaster. Woo! Legion, 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 I got a deal! Ah! Legion, 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 I got a deal! Woo! Ah! Right? We're on the realtor roller coaster, and most of us are on this roller coaster because we don't truly understand the 80-20 concept of our big rocks first. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That makes sense, right?
Yes.
So we say our big rocks, so it's important that we really understand what our big rocks are, right? What our big rocks are to us. And Amy kind of jumped in this, and we'll talk a little bit more about that here. Right here. All right. So how many of us love to-do lists? Like to make them, right? So let's read this real quick from the one thing. While to-do lists serve as a useful collection of our business intentions, they also tyrannize us with trivial, unimportant stuff that we feel obligated to get done because it's on our list. Achievers operate differently. They have an eye for the essentials. So left in the raw state as a simple inventory, a to-do list can easily lead us astray. The first thing on our list is just the first thing you thought of. To-do lists inherently lack the intent of success. Long hours spent checking off a to-do list and ending the day with a full trash can and a clear desk has nothing to do with success. Instead, a to-do list, you need a success list. A list that is purposefully created around extraordinary results. To-do lists tend to be long, success lists are short. One pulls you in all directions, the other aims you in a specific direction. If your to-do list contains everything, then it's probably taking you everywhere, but where you really want to go. So, let's make a to-do list together as our realtors, and then let's see what we can do on making that a success list and how we can incorporate that with our lives to follow the 80-20 principle to help us get on track. All right? So this gives an example of a success list for a marathon run. Someone wants to run a marathon, right? So this would be a good success list of what they're trying to do. They're going to do workout and a diet and a plan, work on hydration plan, select strength program, select running regimen, and find a compatible running group, right? Then they're going to focus deep in on what's the one important thing in this area that I'm going to try to accomplish today, right? And so he lists them in most important to least important. One he found was selecting a running regimen. So of that, he made a new list of what that would take for selecting a running regimen. He would have to join upcoming 5Ks and 10Ks, practice on hills, time blocking and train scheduling, check equipment, plan practice routes, right? And then we focused on this list. He goes, what's the one thing I can do today that would make everything else less important? I could time block training and schedule, right? So then he even focused further is, okay, with time blocking, training, and scheduling, what does that look like? I need to choose AM and PM weekly dedicated to training, arrange babysitter and dog sitter for block time, get running watch, coordinate with an experienced running partner or coach, and identify indoor training alternatives for weather days. So he focused on that list and what's the one thing in this list that would help me move me forward, the most important thing? And he circled it out for his thing for today was coordinate with an experienced running partner or coach. Because if we focused on this one thing, everything else will fall into place. Does that make sense? So let's look at that on the real estate terms of our daily lives, of all the things we just talked about, what we have to do. All right? So when we come into work, many of us make to-do lists, correct? What's the first thing you think of when you come in? What do you do to make that to-do list? What does most people do? You check their email, right? Am I the only one that checks their email when they first come in today? No? Right? And so what does the email do? It creates more of a list, right? I gotta check email, check on escrow, update, client, follow up with Mike, whoever Mike is, right? What other things come up out of this? Oh, I need to do that lead gen. Plan open house. Oh, I gotta make that really good new flyer. Oh, my website. I want to make that really cool website page that I saw, right? Oh, I gotta follow up with this. Correct? We write out this list. So what happens when we go do the list? Oh, I gotta check my email. Okay. I start checking my email, and then, oh, this escrow has a fire. Oh, this has this going on. Oh, this client has this going on. Oh, this person needs this. And my to-do list just keeps getting longer. Correct? And then I go, oh, check with escrow. Oh, I gotta check with escrow. I get up, walk over to escrow. What's going on? Oh, this, okay. Right? And then I might get to here by the end of the day. I'm like, oh, I got so much to do. Whew. Correct? So how do we make this list? And then now we need to prioritize and say, okay, what has to get done? What can I leverage? And what can I just ignore? Right? So looking at the list, what has to get done today, no matter what? This. For sure. What else? Maybe follow up with the client because it might be a good lead. Okay. What else? Check escrow? Maybe. Right? Possibly. Okay. Sure. What can I leverage? So I can leverage this. But I don't have an assistant. How am I going to leverage any of this stuff? It's just me.
Hire somebody.
Right? What if I have a TC? Maybe I can ask my TC to update the client. What's going on? How many of us use TCs? Like if there's a fire, you feel like there's something else that could go on, maybe I could leverage the TC to update the client, check on the escrow for me, and shoot me an email and update by the end of the day. That took me no time at all, right? Right? I shouldn't be running around doing these crazy things. Okay, so we kind of established that following up with the client, lead gen, checking escrow, these things are important, but we kind of narrowed it down to following up with the client and lead gen. Those are the most important things, but we all know what it is. It's probably going to be lead gen, correct? So if we make this lead gen, and we want to make this a successful day, the one thing that we need to do, what in the lead gen, what are the 5 things or 6 things we need to do within that lead gen?
Have the right mindset.
Right? Have the right mindset. What else do we need to do?
Script, practice script.
If I'm going to say, you're going to lead gen tomorrow, it shows me on your calendar, what am I going to ask you?
Approve the script.
What are you doing? What is your lead gen? What does that mean? Oh, I'm going to door knock. Door knock 50 homes. Okay, well, what are you going to do to door knock? Well, I'm going to print out a flyer. I'm going to figure out the neighborhood I'm going to go to. I'm going to talk to title and see for absentee owners. I'm going to do these things, right? Right? We need to know what we're going to do in those areas, but we need to focus on the one thing that's most important. So, even though we make these to-do lists, we have all these other things that take time and out of our day, and we don't even have an understanding of how much time is going to be sucked out of them. Right? So, this right here is the cause to many agents going back on the roller coaster, because they'll put lead gen on their calendar, but they don't have a system or anything that's going on with that lead gen, so they don't really know what they're doing. So when it comes time to lead gen, I'm here at 9 o'clock, 9 a.m., woo, Monday morning. What am I doing? Nobody knows. What are you doing, right? I'm just going to call people. Well, who are you going to call, right? What are you going to call? How are you going to call them? What's the purpose of your call? What value are you bringing to your clients, right? It's because we live on the list and we don't know where we're going in our area and our time. So if we know we're going to lead gen, we might need to focus on making a lead gen system. And that might be the most important thing we do tomorrow so we get the most out of the next year. If we just create one lead gen system where we know what we're going to do every single day for the next 3 months or 4 months, and I'm going to follow up no matter what, how much time did I just free up? A lot, because I know what I'm coming in and I'm doing. So if I focus on that one thing and I break it down to that one thing and that's how I'm going to accomplish tomorrow, and I put that in a 3-hour time period where I'm going to get done tomorrow, everything else just became easier. That make sense? So we're going to figure out what our most important thing is and then think about that most important thing and go, okay, in that most important thing, what is most important about me doing that? Right? And then how do I go activate and do that? You might say, well, no, you got to go out there and knock on a bunch of doors. I might argue that that isn't the best thing you could do tomorrow. Because if you don't know what you're going to do every day for the next 5 weeks or 6 weeks, I think the best thing for you to do tomorrow is develop a system, a plan of what you're going to go do. Because otherwise, every single day, you're going to waste time figuring out what to do. So let's plan and figure that out and make that our one thing for the next day. Does that make sense? Okay. I'm coming around it a long way, but how important it is that we know what we're doing and we're jumping into that. All right. So we talk about this all the time. We've got about 5 minutes left. We talk about a 411 and why it's important. The 411 is the tool we use at Keller Williams to really focus in on our 80-20 principle. What is a 411? Who wants to share? Who's done one before?
It's the form that you use to put your annual goals and then break it down to monthly goals and then for 4 weeks.
Beautiful. There's 1 year, 1 month, 4 weeks. So 4 weeks, 4, 1, 1. So we take our year goal. The example here is of a mega agent, Mike the mega agent, right? His annual goals for his job, his business, his personal finance. Now you can just do your job. That's fine. It's up to you and what you do. This is broken up to 4 sections for this person, individual. But for his job, he wants 24 listings, 18 buyer sales, 60 quality listings, and 150 listing appointments. That's his job's goal for the year. Then he takes it and breaks it down for the month. Well, if I need 24 listings sold, I need 5 listings this month, right? I need 2 listings sold, 2 buyers in escrow, 3 buyers contract closed, 15 listing appointments. That's what he needs for the month to meet his year goal. So then he's going to take that month in the first week and say exactly what he needs to get done, his big rocks for this week. He needs attend 5 listing appointments, close 1 buyer contract, lead generate 3 hours a day. That's just for his job. He also has for his business. He's a mega team, so he has agents, right? So he needs 58 from his buyer specialist. He needs 24 listings, 2 new project emoji, 750,000 GCI, and then 200,000 net profit, right? And then he talks about his business in those areas. But the idea behind the 411 and why it's important is, if we're going to figure out what our goals are, right? Our goal is to make 250 grand this year, right? I need to sell 24 homes to do that, or 25 homes to sell that. All right, what do I need to do each month to accomplish that goal? Now let's break that down to what do I need to do each week. Each week I need to host each week I need to host open house, door knock 100 homes, cold call the area at least 100 homes, talk to my sphere of influence at least 25 people, right? Those are the big rocks I have to do that I'm going to fill up first. Those are the things I need to accomplish each day to be successful. Now what I'm going to do to make sure I'm doing those big rocks is I'm going to put those things where? On my calendar. And I'm going to do those things during those times. So I know for me, I'm going to have to door knock on Thursday because I'm doing an open house on Sunday. And I want to door knock for the open house. So I already know what I'm doing on Thursday because I have a plan and I have lined out what I'm going to do each week. I know I have to cold call on Mondays and Tuesdays because I'm going to cold call 200 people. It takes a long time for me to do that. I'm going to door knock on Thursdays. I'm going to call my sphere of influence on Wednesdays because that's my plan to achieve my goal. And my calendar is going to show exactly what my 411 has. Does that make sense? So our 411 is our guidepost, right? Amy was talking about, that leads us right to where we need to go. And so if we don't have a 411, if we don't have a business plan, where are you going? Nobody knows, you don't know, because you're coming in going, I don't know, I got to figure out something to do. So we have to step back and create the plan of where we want to go and utilize the 411. And each week when we come in on Monday mornings, we need to look at it and then look at our calendars. And does that represent our 80-20 principle? 20% of our time is focused on these big rocks. We're not putting on here check escrows, check emails. No. These are, how many people did I talk to? How many appointments did I have? Make sense? So, we have these tools for you. They're all in our system. We have a KW. It's our guiding foundational pieces of what we do, a part of our systems. So utilize them. Create your 411. We're here to help. Here at 8 night. I believe you guys are going to make them if you not already did. In the 411. But use that to help put yourself on guidance. Get it on your calendar. Follow your calendar. And I guarantee you'll start seeing success because you're starting to participate in the 80-20 principle. You know what you're going to do each week. You're filling up your beautiful jar with what's important, and all the other stuff will fall into place. Because here's the truth. Jessica Dixon, Ferris, whoever, they all have 24 hours in a day. You have 24 hours in a day. We all have the same time. We all do, right? It's how do you utilize that time and what's important to you to find the success. Sound good? Sounds great? All right, let's talk about it. Any ahas or anything you want to talk about? Let me jump through all this stuff real quick. Amy hit a bunch of that stuff, so we don't need to talk about it. Before we get out of here, a couple minutes, things to take away. What are we doing with it?
So for me, it's just make a plan, don't be around, just thinking around what you're gonna do, just,
You gotta make a plan.
yes, period.
How many of us taken the disc before? A bunch of us. You guys got your results. If you don't have them, take it and let me know. I can send it to you. How many of us were high eyes on the personality? A chunk of us. So eye high, it's easy to tell eye high. Nico, high eye, I'm a high eye. We talk with our hands. We're like, look at me, I'm special, right? Hey, look at me, look at me. Those are high eyes, right? We struggle with plans. We like chaos. Doesn't matter, it's an excuse, you gotta have a plan, right? So many of us in this room probably will struggle with the plan. It's tough, right? Not an excuse, gotta figure it out. Beautiful, love it. What else? Get your plan in your calendar. There's a bold law that says, if it's not in your calendar, it does not exist.
That is your schedule doesn't.
If it's not on your schedule, it doesn't exist. And if you erase, you must replace.
Exactly.
You don't prioritize and plan. You have to have your priorities straight.
You gotta have your priorities straight. You gotta really know what your 80-20 is, right? You gotta know what your 20% is most important to you. We say legion, but that's a very broad term, right? You gotta focus in. What does that actually look like? What are you gonna do to be successful? What else?
Even though it's in your calendar, you have to do it. Otherwise, it's nothing.
I'll be honest, that's the hard part. My calendar looks great. But you all are distracted. Right? It's true. And life happens, guys. Life happens. Right? Things happen. But is it a priority enough to get it back on the calendar and focus on it and make sure you get it done?
Can I share something
Yeah.
about replace it? So yesterday I had a structured plan to do my KRPA,
Mhm.
my this, what is it?
Mhm.
The
The KPA?
Yeah, and then get what we get together.
Yeah.
But then 3 people call me and say, hey Patricia, I need you to show me that or go home. I say, okay, replace it. I finish up to 7 p.m. So now in my head is you gotta go.
You gotta get it.
Good first. To
Yep.
do it, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, I think a common, not to say this is bad, of course you want to go show houses, but a lot of times for us as agents, when someone wants to go see something, we drop everything to accommodate, and there's times when that's important, we need to do that, absolutely. But let me ask you, when you call the doctor and something's important to you and you want to go see him, do they drop everything to allow you to go see him? Or do they say, schedule? And what do? You go, okay, why is the doctor better than you? I mean, that's your own self-worth on that, right? Right? At the end of the day, I'm not saying it's wrong to do, but you can hold your schedule and you can hold your, if I'm lead generating and I have a lead gen time and someone wants to meet with me, I always try to get them to meet at a different time. I do it here at the office. People want to meet. I try to make sure I move it at different times. I'm also accommodating. Sometimes they can't. So what I'll do is move my time around, right? But the first answer doesn't have to be yes. An answer can be, hey, I have something scheduled. Are you available at 3? And they go, no, I'm not. I'm really sorry. You go, okay, great. Let me see if I can move some stuff around. I'll let you know. You can control your schedule. You have the worth. You're the professional. Don't be scared to do that. That's just a piece of advice. Not saying don't do it, because I've done it, but just a piece from there. Awesome. Thank you for sharing that. All right, guys, that's it for today. We got some samples. Ashley, someone grab one. Little bag. Try a sample. Very beautiful.
And then if you guys do want to purchase, you guys got to get those in so she has time to make it. We don't want to wait until it's developed.
Yes.
You got to order it.
What's your number for your well?
It's
Or